Yo guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the Chelsea Past and Present RTG. I got a bit of a new one today. I've been looking at some videos online about like old and past Chelsea teams and Chelsea videos and things like that. And I came across this video on the Chelsea FC website called Chelsea's Most Devastating Counterattacks. I'll drop a link down in the description so you guys know which video I'm talking about. But in that video, it kind of showed how clinical, well, some of their counterattacks can be, right? I noticed that they favoured a lot of the 4-2-3-1 formation, and they loved kind of breaking on the counterattack and scoring very, very quickly so they could be deep within their own defence, catch the ball, break, and within 10 to 15 seconds they're at the other end of the pitch and they've scored. So I kind of played around with the idea in my head a little bit, and I kind of thought, well, let's make some custom tactics for that, right? So I've come up with some custom tactics. I've also used them in the rival highlights that'll follow this in kind of like intro segment. And yeah, it's kind of just going to show these formations, which is basically abusing counterattacks and fast breakaways and things like that. So like I've said, it is the 4-2-3-1 formation. This is the team that I used for the highlights that you'll see shortly. We'll talk about Werner in a minute. I did sell him, but it's for future kind of content-y stuff. But yes, I know I'm going back on what I said, that I wasn't going to sell him. I sold him. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, let's quickly jump into those tactics then. Let's have a look. Let's kind of have a look at what I've concocted for this fast-breaking 4-2-3-1 formation I keep banging on about. So these are basically the tactics here on your screen. You can quickly pause them if you want to quickly copy them, and I'll kind of explain them in depth. So for a defensive style, I just kept it balanced. Don't really need to touch that. We just need to defend and then break fast. Don't really need to worry about anything else. I have thought about actually playing press after possession loss. That was something I was thinking about, but with the kind of way that we attack, I kind of was worried about the stamina of players, so I kind of opted against it and just kept it on balance. Width of 45, just need to keep a reasonable width, and then a depth of 50, because we don't want to be hugging Petr Cech in goal, do we? We want some depth, you know what I mean? So these are the two crucial things that I was testing. So originally, the build-up play I had set to long ball. Now my logic was kind of, hoof long balls. If you watch some of the highlights in the video that I've just linked below, you'll kind of see that there's a lot of like hoof long balls. But I found that a fast build-up play offered a lot more in terms of kind of the just being able to mix things up between your front four. Being able to just pass between each other, move off the ball, make runs, make forward aggressive runs and things like that. So fast builder play literally just changed the game for me, and I literally just fell in love with these tactics as soon as I was like testing them. Chance creation, we got it on forward runs, again for the same reason. We want to be pressing, we want to be running forward, we want players like darting into the box, we want players making that runs up the pitch so that we can make those interchanging plays. On the offense, the width, we just kept it at 45. Don't need to go too crazy. We need to keep fairly central, and then if we need our wide cams to go wide, we can do that. But you'll see in the highlights, we don't really use that so much. It's quite narrow in terms of how we play this. And if a player's a box, we want to kind of hammer as many players as we can into the box, because the more people that we've got there, the more chances we've got to shoot on goal. And I've noticed that no matter how much depth you put on defense, there always seems to be basically your whole starting 11 in the box. I don't know why. Maybe they've patched that in the recent patch that's come live today, which is the 9th of November. So I don't know. I'll need to test this. These videos, the highlights were recorded before the 9th of November. Free kicks on 2 because, well, as you would have seen already on chance creation, forward runs, and build-up play and the build-up play being fast build-up, we're very susceptible to counterattacks. But there are tactics and things in place to kind of prevent that from happening. And I'll go a bit more in depth on those in the instructions that are to come. So like I said, 4-2-3-1, fairly standard. Solid defense, 2 CDMs, your 3 cams, and your striker. Now, one thing to note. The outside cams need to be fast and agile. That is so crucial. Chelsea were a big fan of fast, agile players. Hazard in his prime, Pedro, Joe Cole, for example. Like, these are all players that are fast and agile on the ball. So that's very, very crucial. And in that blank spot, of course, we had Timo Werner, which in the past would have been somebody like Fernando Torres or Didier Drogba. So just to keep in mind some of the players that you kind of want to have. And then for your DMs, you want, medium high on one, and then you're like high or something like that on your other. So for me, Frank Lampard is my high medium. I don't really like him in this DM role. That's the one thing I will say. I would rather somebody like Ballack or Essien where Frank Lampard is, and then put Frank Lampard where Mount is. But that means I lose another spot just to get him in. So, actually, that might be something I'll play around with in a future video. Who knows? Maybe that'll be coming in the next video. I've got a little surprise for that one, or a little cool video idea that I've concocted. So that'd be really sick to see if it works as well as I hope it's going to do. So these instructions, now these are very, very, very crucial in how this formation works, especially combined with that fast build-up play. So on Timo Werner, I had stay central and stay forward. They have to stay up. Now that's very in line with like how Jose Mourinho played 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-3. They always stayed up. I didn't want to put get in behind because I feel like they still get caught too often with offsides, and if you have somebody like Timo Werner that makes those natural runs through, then you don't really need to worry about it. You don't need to worry about that instruction. You kind of just leave it off. Now, for the centre cam, again, we had to stay forward and then get into the box. We don't want, you don't want your cam drifting too far back. You want that front four ready to literally bolt it. As soon as you take that interception, your fast build-up kicks in, your players start running about the pitch, moving about, making space, and then boom, you just ping, 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 score. That's kind of like how aggressive you can be with this formation. It's really, really cool. Now, this. Like, when I worked this out, my brain literally exploded. But the defensive support on both your outside cams need to be stay forward. Again, that is a problem, so you can leave a gap between Pedro and Ashley Cole, Joe Cole and Reece James. There's going to be like a little gap there, so that is something to note, which your DMs are going to have to cover, so you need somebody with quite good stamina there. But that is how it was played authentically, so we're going to rock with that. Get into the box again, so if somebody for example, if Pedro's running up on the left, we want Joe Cole in the box on the right, ready to be on the end of it, or ready to be on the, to pass the ball across the floor, with like a low-driven cross or a low-driven pass, something like that. Just to kind of get it to them so they can have a shot on goal. And then this is the crucial one. I didn't really ever test this, but free roam is super, super crucial. If you, again, I'm going to refer back to that video that I linked at the start or linked in the description. There's a lot of times where the cams will kind of like do this like overlapping switching plays and they'll kind of like cause havoc up top. I have so many highlights that I'm going to show you right now that prove like how devastating that can be for somebody trying to manually defend that. When you've got like 2 or 3 players running at you that's not controlled by the player, that are all switching across each other, making forward runs, you never know who you're going to pass to. And that's what makes this formation and these tactics so devastating, is that one through ball to the player they don't expect, and you've already scored. There's literally nothing they can do about it. So free roam literally has broken this formation in my eyes. So yeah, both the outside cams have stay forward, get into the box, free roam. That's super, super crucial. This is something else that I noticed. If you have somebody that is high in somebody like Frank Lampard's role, you don't need to put stay back while attacking on their attacking support. But because Frank Lampard is high medium, I have to put it on to kind of compensate, because I noticed that so many times Frank Lampard would drift too far forward and then I'd have that massive gap in that midfield, and it was, again, when you're playing a formation and a tactics that's super susceptible to being like counterattack, this is like not ideal, so we need to sort that out. So yeah, stay back attacking, cover center. Like I said, you can get away with balanced if you have somebody who is high. And then on your other one, you have stay back attacking, cover center. And then the other thing I've noticed as well, watching a lot of Chelsea highlights again, because I want to be as authentic as possible with these tactics as I can be. So we're leaving both the left back and right back on stay back while attacking. Now, that is not strictly true. They did used to push up, leaving a 2-back. But in this meta, it's crazy to do that, so I'm going to have to leave them on stay back while attacking. But I will say they always overlapped the outside cams, which is why both Reece James and Ashley Cole overlap. And you'll see there are times where like they will like genuinely just push up naturally and they will overlap, and it makes such a difference in terms of the formation when you have, like I said, all those cams crossing over each other and things like that. It just causes so much chaos for your opponent to defend against. It's crazy. So those are the tactics that I played. I was playing in Division 3 with the team that you saw at the start. And we are currently now in... There we are. We're now in Division 2, Rank 1. It is just... Like I said, rewards are in 1 day and 11 hours. So I'm going to have to, they're going to need to grind a couple of games tonight to get those milestone progress. But we're climbing, and I literally only used 4-2-3-1 yesterday, and I think I played in total about 16 games. You'll see a chunk of those highlights today because there's some games where I couldn't really show off what I was trying to prove with these tactics. So without further ado, let's jump into some of the highlights, and you can kind of see how aggressive and counter-attacky this formation can be, and how much of a difference it can to change your game, and how hard it can be to defend against. So I will see you guys in a sec. Now let's jump straight into those lovely 4-2-3-1 highlights I've been talking about. So here we can see my opponent's got a very, very strong Premier League team. And straight from the off, we're just going to show how quick it is to fast break between, all your cams and just find that space in the box to score a goal. And this is literally within the first 7 minutes of the game, which is crazy. So jumping into our second game here, and we've got a nice little workup play between all the cams really, and just showing the kind of chances that you can create from playing these fast attacking custom tactics. You were very unlucky to not score there with Joe Kroll, but Pedro's there, like I said, with that get into the box instruction to kind of be on the end of it, ready to finish that off and get us that second goal that we needed. Here we are again, Werner with that instruction, and there he is. Look, you got Pedro then on the overlap, ready to just finish and clean up whatever's left. And look how quick we are attacking. We are 3v2 right now. Quick pass inside, and we're super, super unlucky that got intercepted, but, this is FIFA, and that can happen. Here, Havertz has just created some lovely space for Pedro, and again, just super, super unlucky that Werner wasn't able to shake off the Lord and Babu. So here we are, so this is from an opponent's attack. We have literally countered it, we have dealt with it, and we're straight on the counter. Quick 1-2 between Havertz and Joe Cole. We're inside the box, low driven pass, and Kimpembe is there to pick it up, but if that got a slight chance to keep going through, that's a goal. There's nothing your opponent can do, and that was over the short of 11 seconds, that highlight was. So it just shows how quick you can counter attack and score. Now, our opponent did a really, really good job there of moving the keeper, so it's super, super unlucky not to score there, but it can happen. I mean, I'm getting up to this high elo now, where the players are naturally just going to get better, and the games are going to get tougher, and I will say this is probably the hardest highlights I've ever had to record. Jumping into our next game here, a very strong team, Shevchenko, right, so I remember this game super, super well. The Shevchenko was crazy good. If you found Shevchenko in your base icon pack, which EA released to you, then I will say he did you a solid, because my god, he was so good into this game. And I just want to bring it back just then in that clip, if you quickly jump it back. There was a time there where we had 3 players on his 2 defenders. We had the left cam, the centre cam, and the right cam, all in prime positions, ready to attack and to score. And sadly, I made the wrong mistake on both of these 2 highlight occasions. So here we are, breaking back from the back 4 again. We find Pedro and find Reece James out wide, and you can see Pedro's making that run forward ready, and there he is, slingshot ball straight through. We're already through, and takes a shot, and again, I remember this Areola, he was so difficult to score against, man, he was driving me crazy. So here we are, breaking from the back again. Look at all these players pushing, they're all making runs, they're all attacking, they're all overlapping each other, and again, just super unlucky that gets intercepted by the Lord Kimpembe, but this is the high elo games, and it is going to get tougher as we go. So here we are, just showing the strength of the through balls and the overlaps there, and it just gets me the goal, which is beautiful. I don't remember much from this game. I think I did lose this game, I remember correctly. As you can see, I'm already 1-0 down. I think it's Cristiano Ronaldo was on something. I don't know what, but I wish I had some of it. We can see Joe Cole's pushing through there. We find Havertz out wide, who finds the space, slingshot ball straight through to Pedro, cuts back and has a shot. So it was a really nice chance, just really unlucky we couldn't walk away with the goal there. And jumping into our next game, we've got I've only got the one clip from this game, and it was just kind of just showing the link-up play from DM to centre cam, out wide to Joe Cole, who was super, super unlucky not to get that finish. But it kind of shows how easy it is to link up play between players, and it just shows the strength that this formation brings. And sadly, the problems that I had with Lampard, with that high medium work rate, I found him hard, which is why I had to end up putting him to that, stay back while attacking, which I kind of mentioned in the intro when I was describing, breaking down the tactics for you. But here you can see we've got a quick break from Pedro here, slingshot ball into Joe Cole, who finds Timo Werner, who just bangs it in the net. Now that's 3 quick passes, and it is in the back of the net. What could my opponent do? You literally can't do anything. And again, we're just going to show, literally, from Czech throwing the ball out, we find Joe Cole, who finds Mason Mount in the centre of the park, who finds Lampard, who runs it up nicely And there he is, Pedro making that lovely run, and he just bangs it into the net. So it just shows, like I said, how quick you can break from this formation and these custom tactics. It is crazy fun to try, and I can't stress enough that you guys need to try these tactics and just see if they work for you. If you like playing fast, aggressive football, then these are the tactics that you want to play. And I mean, look at that. That is absolutely disgusting. And I'm with you, buddy. I would be straight out of that game as fast as I could. There's an interesting... I noticed this guy had Socrates. I don't think he showed up much in the game. But I remember him in FIFA 19 being a very, very good card. And a lot of people wanted him. So there's a nice link up from Werner. Finds Joe Cole in the box. Again, you know, I've not said get into the box and anything. Well, I've said, you know, the get into the box instruction, which explains that run that he did, and it just shows how powerful it can be. And then when you combine that with, like I said, the free roam, which has been my favorite instruction that I've ever put on, especially in this formation, it just shows how crazy and how hard it can be for your opponent to defend. You know, a lovely slingshot ball across, finds Lampard, who finds Joe Cole, pings it across, and my opponent said he has had enough. And Mason Mount there picks up the goal. So here we've got Werner, who tries a little through ball, but then note we break back. Kante finds Werner, and I remember this being a bit of a cluster biff, to say the least. There's just so much concoctions, but quick passes and boom, back of the net. Can't deal with that. Pick that one out, goalkeeper. So we're just linking up between the outside cams. 1, 2, 3, bang, back of the net. As you can see, Joe Cole never stopped that run. He kept running into the box. After we found Werner, who passed it wide to Pedro, back to Werner, and then back to Cole, and then it's in the net. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I had a ton of fun playing this formation. It's like I said, it's a very different style of play to the 3-4-2-1 that I've been playing. Again, I've been playing that kind of defensively / aggressively when I need to, but this is just all-out attack, go, go, go. You know, it's just constantly putting pressure and scoring goals. And like I said, if you are playing the 4-2-3-1 and you don't find yourself scoring as many goals, then maybe you want to try something like this, because I noticed that 4-2-3-1 is a very good formation, but it's very defensive. You need to be very particular in the way that you play them. And this one kind of is a different take to the standard 4-2-3-1. If you think a lot of pros would just tell you, you know, be very conservative with the ball and just, you know, find your space, find your man, pick up the pass and go. Whereas this is, like I said, it's very fast, very aggressive. Let's counterattack constantly. And, I mean, counterattacks are still very, very strong in FIFA 22. Kante there, just being the absolute GOAT that he is, intercepts that ball like an absolute legend. We find Pedro, who finds Werner, who just slingshots that into the back of the net. I mean, I don't know how he got his foot round to that. And, like I said, I'm sad that I have seen him go, but he will be back 100% once I make my next video. Like I said, I'm doing it for content. I do sell players now and again if it means that I can make some cool, interesting content videos for you guys. So like I said, it does mean a lot if you do comment and you do like my videos and you, of course, subscribe. That really shows how much you guys care about what I'm doing. And for the last game then, we've got just 2 quick clips here. We've got some quick interchanging passes between all the front cams. And there we are, we find Joe Cole, who's never stopped his run from outside, has that shot, and it's just straight in the back of the net. And then literally towards the dying minutes of the game, we've got another quick highlight to show you. I stepped on Kovacic here. I remember I needed to be very conservative with my play. I need to be very careful, but we found Werner, who just dummies Varane, and it's in the back of the net. So there we have it, guys. That was the conclusion of the 4-2-3-1 counter-attacking highlights. Did you like it? Did you think they were effective? Do you think it was something that you'd be kind of curious to try? Let me know if you do try them and you do like them, or if you don't agree with them, or something you want to change about them. Please do just drop a comment down below. I read every comment, as you would expect at this stage. I'm trying to interact with you all whenever you do. So yeah, please drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you try them, let me know how successful they were for you. That's kind of it for the video today. Like I said, I sold Timo Werner, and the reason why will become apparent in the next video. It's something kind of different to what I've been doing in a way, but it still fits into the theme, so that's kind of cool. So you'll see that, like I said, in the next video. Apart from that, that's all I've got to say today. So if you, like I said, if you did like the video, leave a like, comment down below what you think, and subscribe, please, because like I said, it really means a lot to me that you guys are enjoying the stuff that I am doing. And for now, guys, I'll catch you in the next video, guys, and peace.